Hi everyone, my name is Tina with Overall Adventures, and thank you so much for being here and joining me for this still life journaling series. I'm really happy. This series I designed as a reminder, as a goal to get off of our screens and get into the natural world. This series in particular is inspired by still life paintings, as well as Lucy Maud Montgomery's writing, specifically Anne of Green Gables, specifically this quote, "Let the great sweeping wind blow the fogs out of her soul." So, with that in mind, let me remind you of the purpose of this series. Get off our screens, get into our lives, basically increasing our awareness of the present moment. Which will help us hopefully slow down a little bit and enjoy the small things. Increase our descriptive writing ability and connect with ourselves and the natural world. So in terms of materials, all you're going to need today is your journal, a pen, maybe a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and the object that we are going to be examining today. And let me reveal to you, it's blowing away right now. It's a fall leaf. So go find a fall leaf in your area if you can. If you can't, just stick around and I will show you the fall leaf that I will be looking at today, and you can use that as your subject for this still life. Okay, so go find your fall leaf or any kind of leaf that you want to look at today, and I put the timer on for 5 minutes. So we're going to observe. When we start with an observation, it's always good to start with I notice. So what do you notice about your leaf? Right? I'm just going to walk you through just briefly with mine. The first thing that is just gapingly obvious to me is this massive hole here in this leaf, right? I noticed that. I'm also noticing that the veins here on this leaf is so green. It's just this vibrant green in contrast with this kind of deeper red. So you're going to do that for as long as you can. You can say that out loud. You can write that in your journal. You could just think it in your mind, just bullet points. What do you notice about your leaf? And really see if you can just sit with a leaf for 5 minutes. Maybe think about the textures, the sound of it crinkling. Size of it in relation to your hand. You can even count each of the veins, each hole, each tiny, tiny little dot in this case. I'm not exactly sure what that's from in these. Think of this as a meditation with your leaf. What do you notice? Maybe flip the leaf over. How does it look in the light? How does it blow in the wind? Stiff? Is it flexible? And when you're ready from there, you can move on to I wonder. So that's just a series of questions. Again, you can just ask yourself, I wonder where this hole came from. Was it from a bug, right? Was it from some kind of damage? Was it from another branch? Was it from a storm? Where did this come from? What are these little holes here, little bites? It almost looks like insects, but I'm not sure. So just a list of questions that come to mind and curiosities that you have when looking at this leaf. It could be as simple as I wonder why the other side of the leaf is so much lighter than one side. Why is on the flip side of the leaf the veins are thick and raised, whereas on the front of the leaf or the top of the leaf they're very thin? Try to engage almost like a childlike curiosity with your leaf. Play with it. Wonder, how long did this leaf take to grow? Why did this leaf fall before the rest of the others? Is it still alive with these really bright green veins? And then, once you feel like you've wondered enough, but I personally don't think there's enough ever wondering. I think you could keep going and asking questions for as long as you can. You might want to move to "it reminds me of." So what does this remind you of? When I hold it like this hole kind of reminds me of a heart. That's just me. What does it remind you of? Look at this shape. What if I hold it this way? What does that remind you of? I can really see these bites on this side or whatever that is. What does this leaf remind you of? It could be as simple as fall is coming. That's our timer. Okay, so now that we finished our observing part of this journaling series or this journaling video, we're ready to move on to some actual writing. So I want you to take your leaf and I want you to find a comfy spot, preferably outside, but up to you, with your journal and your pen. And now we're gonna write on about our leaf. What I'm going to be writing about for these 10 minutes, it's going to be completely stream of conscious, okay? Your goal is going to be to not pick your pen up off the page for 10 minutes straight. You could write, let's just see what happens, okay? This is your subject. This is the center of your piece. Go from there, okay? So I'm going to sit back, put on a 10-minute timer, and write with me. Thanks. Okay. Finish up your last sentence. Oh, bugs on the page. And let's chat about that. Okay, so how was that for you? Oh, that was so interesting for me. I'm gonna just share a little bit about just a section of what I wrote in that time. I wrote a bunch, but I'm just gonna read you a little bit of what I like and what kind of struck me with this leaf. In future series, this would be a time where I would share something from the comments. So what I encourage you to do right now, if you feel comfortable, is to type up something in the comments of what you wrote, and then in the next time I do this series, I will share something from one of you. But since this is the first one in the series, I'm going to share a little bit about what I wrote. Okay, so I wrote, change hurts, whether it's from summer to autumn or one life chapter to the next. Bruises and wounds come along the way, but ain't it beautiful? The transition from green to red, from heat to cool, from one home to a new one. Let leaves remind us to be flexible, wholesome, and honest in this change. Let go, let go, let go. Let go and let yourself be changed from green to red, from holding to falling, from one phase of life into another. Isn't that yummy? So I hope that this series helped you kind of slow down and really just realize the wisdom in the small things in life. Please, please, please share some of your writings in the comments below if you did this activity alongside me, and I will be sure to share some of your words in the next video, the next time we do a still life series.